Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to the State of Crypto, one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 258. Bitcoin above 10,000. Will it hold? Miners sell more Bitcoin than they make, and Binance create to integrate real-time AML monitoring. Now, if you're catching this from live, welcome. And if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you're thinking. Now, if you're up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and that bell so you're notified when we go live. And if you want to keep on chatting with us once the stream is done, you can join us on the Discord. Links in the description. So it's a link to the amazing articles that we cover here, and the links to that's it. The amazing articles we cover here. Also, if you want to engage with me, you can join me on Twitter. Link will pop up somewhere around here throughout the stream. Troy, how's it going, man? Thank you for being here. Bitcoin Jake, rocket to the moon. Yes, man, Bitcoin is pumping, right? We talked about that, I think, Saturday, potentially heading for that 10K area. We finally touched it. I was hoping that we get a little bit more resistance at 10K. I think we just fly past through it. But we look at that on the 1 hour chart, right? Just making sure here it's playing on rando. Yeah, it is. Awesome, man. Let's move on to the news, right? We do have news tonight. Jesus Pacheco, come on. Hey, how's it going, man? And Omar Ukan, man. Hello, bro. How's it going, man? I wish I would jump straight into the article, into the technicals, but we do have news, man. It's a couple articles I'm going to run through. If you're expecting the technicals, we're going to get to them. We'll just cover the news first, right? Awesome, man. Great to hear you're doing good. Let's go into the news, man. What is happening today? Well, this article is from Cointelegraph. Says you can't see it because I haven't transitioned. Wow, that's my bad. There we go. This article is from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin prices surge to 10,380 as Trump threatens military crackdown. Now, it just this was published a couple hours ago. Just within the last hour, Bitcoin price abruptly surged to $10,380 after spending the last month trading in a symmetrical triangle pattern. We talked about that. We'll show it. The move above the crucial 10,000 mark occurred as the U.S. President Donald Trump mobilized local police and National Guard to disperse the masses of protesters on the White House grounds. Now, altcoins also began to rally in response to Bitcoin moving above 10,000, with the top 10 rallying to 3 to 5%, right? Top 10 cryptos. Now, what is that pattern that they're talking about? Now, give me one quick second. I'll show you that. I know we talked about it. It's on one of my charts. It's in this one? No. It's in this one? No. It's in this one? Nope. It's in this one? Yep. It's in this one, right? So, okay, cool. We were talking about this triangle at some point in time. Remember, symmetrical triangle? We traced it a while back. We talked about hitting the top, right? We haven't checked back into this triangle, to be honest, in a while. But when I saw that article, I remember we had talked about it at some point in time. As you can tell, we did trace it. We managed to break above it today. Right now, it's starting to move down briefly, but not too worried about that, right? Retracing 100% of the previous high that would have been here, and trying to see if we're going to use it as support. Now, we're going to talk about this more in detail once we get to it. I just wanted to point to the fact that we had talked about this. The only thing I didn't have was this line that I just traced today in orange that we could use as support potentially also. But other than that, let's move on to the news, right, and keep on moving through them. Next article, also from Cointelegraph, it just says that miners have been selling more Bitcoin than they have generated, as recent data suggests. Now, last week, Bitcoin miners sold 11% more coins than they generated over the same period on June 1st, and that is data from on-chain analysis portal Byte3 suggests, right? Anyways, according to the portal's metric that tracks Bitcoin wallet addresses associated with the miners, around 5,800 Bitcoin were generated over the past 7 days, compared with over 6,500 first spent transactions, right? Meaning that there's a lot more Bitcoin being sold than it's being generated. And we talked about that being a possibility, right? Jesus Pacheco saying the resistance at 10,500 could be overcome. Maybe, man. We'll check that out in a second. Troy saying I enter a short on my small account. Awesome, bro. We'll discuss that also in once we move on to the technicals, right? If you remember, we talked about this being a possibility. We said, look, man, miners are going to generate half the rewards. They're going to need double the price to make the same amount of money so they can keep operating. Until they do that, they're probably going to start to sell off some of the stock of Bitcoin that they have, thus floating some of that Bitcoin into the market. And what are we seeing right now? Well, miners selling those Bitcoin into the market so they can sustain operations. Now, The miner wallet can be owned by an individual, a company, or mining pool. When a coin gets generated by the miners and appear on the miner wallet, they're counted as a generation, so are like an original coin, right? Those coins can sit in their respective miner wallets for days, months, years, or forever. It's up to the controller of the miner wallet to decide when they want to move the coins. Now, if these coins are generated by a mining pool, the coins will either be distributed to the pool subscribers, or paid in Bitcoin, or sent to the exchange at some point in order to cover for that fiat cost of operation, like I was saying, right? And it was the Bitcoin halving has affected the network in numerous ways, as hash rate, block time, fees, and miner revenues have changed considerably as a result of the event. So as you can remember, what I was telling you, right? We mentioned it earlier. We mentioned it post-halving, pre-halving. Miners are going to have a tough time. They're probably going to start selling, and that is what's happening right now. Daily hodl, Bitcoin and Ethereum whales moved $313 million in crypto as Ripple unlocks its $1 billion from XRP. Now, some of the largest Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP whales have basically started moving this week with a bang. Now, whales watchers are monitoring two separate movements of 6,000 Bitcoin with total amount of 114 million from the crypto exchange Bithumb to a wallet of unknown origin, and the ledger tracking bot Well Alert spotted both of the transactions. Now, this is from the Daily Hodl. Now, the two transfers are not Bithumb's moving to its own assets, and that means they could be from a trader or an institution shifting the Bitcoin to a private wallet, and 4 additional transfers hit Bitcoin ledger in the last 24 hours, moving a total of 9,400 Bitcoin as well, worth approximately 89.5 million. XRP printers go burr. No, bro, that's just the escrow they release every month, and then they put it back into escrow. Whatever they don't sell, they just use that to fund their operations. They sell some of that. They haven't been selling that much lately, apparently. Anyways, 2 of the 2 transfers involved crypto moving off an exchange to an unknown wallet, a trend that has been on the rise in the recent months. Now, 1,500 Bitcoin were moved from Binance to OKEX. 2,898 Bitcoin were moved from Bithumb to an unknown wallet. 1,502 Bitcoin worth 14.3 million were transferred from OKEX to an unknown wallet. And 3,500 Bitcoin worth 33.2 million were transferred from unknown wallet to OKEX. Now, Ethereum also were moving a total of 468,189 Ethereum worth 110 million were moved. Basically, some of the transactions were basically 38,501 Ethereum transferred from an unknown wallet to Bitfinex, 30,000 Ethereum transferred from Binance to an unknown wallet, and 274,836 Ethereum worth 64 million transferred from an unknown wallet to another unknown wallet. Now, Ripple's monthly movement of 1 billion XRP were done, and as we know, they're probably going to send back whatever they have. They also sent 79,719,524 XRP worth approximately 16 million to co-founder Jed McCaleb today as part of the settlement between the two parties. Now, Binance Korea. And again, from Cointelegraph, Binance Korea will be monitoring activity on its platform and signs, basically for signs of money laundering, thanks to a solution developed by CoinFirm. Now, the partnership announced on Monday will help Binance Korea branch remain compliant with anti-money laundering regulations resulting from Financial Action Task Force travel rule. Basically, CoinFirm provides a blockchain-agnostic AML platform offered to various institutions dealing with cryptocurrencies. Their previous clients include European banks, blockchain projects such as XRP and RSK, custodians such as Zappo, and government of Gibraltar, right? Anyways, Binance already integrated CoinFirm solution onto its main platform back in October. Nevertheless, the main Binance platform generally maintains a minimal compliance burden, with the exchange preferring to open distinct branches in countries where its approach may not work, such as the United States. Now, this is the first usage of CoinFirm's compliance solution on a national Binance platform, taking place less than 2 months after the platform launch, and this is on Binance Korea. Now, Korea has taken strict regulatory approaches to cryptos. A recent unveiled report suggests that the country's financial watchdog has been concerned about money laundering with crypto since 2017, which motivated its tough stance the following year. Now, the country has also been on the more enthusiastic adopters of the FATF guidelines, which directly led to several delistings of privacy coins on the Korean exchanges. Sorry guys, Spotify ads were coming in. Man, we've already run 15 minutes through this. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun and doing the news. The country introduced a bill in March that would see crypto exchanges acquire permits to operate. Binance competitor BitThumb already integrated a similar compliance solution in response to the law. So again, it's just happening in Korea because they have to comply with that, and if they want to be an official or a legal operating exchange within the country. So that's the reason that they're going with this. Now, this just has to mention whenever transactions over a certain amount of money go through. I think it's $1,000. So if more than $1,000 get sent, they have to flag and notify the FATF, and they have to liaise with the other exchange, and basically the other exchange has to reply like whose wallet that money's going into, or what's the receiving user, etc. And that's just to prevent money laundering, right? Anyways, on the last one, Coinbase, the largest Bitcoin holder amongst the exchanges, followed by Huobi and Binance, but by a long shot, right? Coinbase, look, 184.3 million Bitcoin in balance, Bitcoin in balance, thousands of Bitcoins, yeah. So 984,000 Bitcoin in balance. Huobi, 412,000 Bitcoin in balance, and then Binance, 317. So again, big gap between the exchanges. That is the amount that is being held on behalf of the customers, and it's only 16% of the total supply of the 21 million Bitcoin. And that's according to research that was conducted by Larry Cermak, a person that works at the block. Now, while the absolute amount looks large in a percentage, the figure is down 10% since February 9th, when exchanges held around 3.43 million Bitcoins, representing nearly 19% of the total supply. Right now, they're holding 3.08 million Bitcoins. That's it. Is it good? Is it bad that the exchanges hold that much Bitcoin? I mean, it has to be there for the exchanges to have liquidity and be able to buy and sell. So it does make sense that some of that is there. Again, it's just 16.5% of the total supply, meaning the rest of that is probably being held in wallets, which is where you should hold Bitcoin if you're not planning to trade with it. Right? Keep it safe. Not your keys, not your crypto. I'm going to play this very small intro, and I'll be right back with the technicals, right? It's just giving me a time to set up here the screen on the side so we can discuss the technicals, right? One quick second. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through that small transaction. Now, if you like what we do, hit that like, that bell, and that sub, right? Let's keep on looking at this. What is happening with market cap? Yesterday, money flew into the cryptosphere. 7.18%, approximately $18.79 billion. Today, you were losing a little bit of that, getting some pullback, 1.01%, approximately 3.08 billion, 3.29 right now. So you got $277.60% of market cap. Billion dollars. $277.37 billion, man. I just said market cap for some reason. Anyways, going up, hitting that midline, rejecting, and starting to move down, right? So again, not too worried about this yet. Glad we're moving out with market cap. That means money is flowing into the cryptosphere. Something that I'm looking at right now, and it's something that might not play out, right? Because we're starting to develop this new high. Is that we're going from a high to a higher high. And obviously from positive momentum to less positive momentum. Also a high point on the RSI to a lower point on the RSI, creating some bearish divergence, strong bearish divergence, potential money to flow out of the cryptosphere. Again, this is starting to develop. This could keep on developing and rising, right? And until we negate the divergence. But right now we have it, and we have to acknowledge it. Let's move on to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance at 66.61%. Yesterday, Bitcoin gained 0.78% of market cap. Today, losing 0.46. Like I said, sitting at 66.60% of market cap. The price of Bitcoin, $10,048.37. Is it pulling back? Yes, it is. What happened? We hit a resistance where, depending on this chart that we have here, that takes the high, right, when before we started to drop, right, this main drop, that's the high, right, the opening, March 12th. That's why it took the high to the low, right? We've retraced 61.618% of the way, and that was 10,416. We've hit that area. We're rejected, started to move down. Again, we got a bounce at the 20. We were expecting that. We got a lot of contraction happening on the Bollinger Bands on the shorter time scales. And now something that I'm looking at also here, I'll point it out on these other charts now. It's from here to here, right? We're going higher. And from here to here, we're definitely coming in lower, starting to create that strong bearish divergence, just like market cap had, right? But again, this positive momentum is starting to develop. Now, what's happening here? We also rejected higher prices above 10,243.96. So will we hold 10,000? Man, that is going to be a battle for that area again. The only thing I do like is that we're back on this range where 10,243 to that 9,650. It's a possibility. We managed to break through this 9,650. I was worried about that yesterday. We managed to move up. That's good. Again, off a bounce on the 20. And if you remember, I was in at 9,474, which is the green line here. And I didn't cancel my position. I was telling you guys I was not going to cancel my position. I haven't canceled it, meaning that I'm probably going to be able to take a lot more profit right now. I'm just waiting for this to develop. Impulse up, we got to consolidate. You know, we got to probably make down sloping consolidation if you want to impulse up again. Sitting bought on the RSI at 61.57. On the other chart, right, what do we have here? We almost got to 100% retrace. We would have gotten that if we would have gotten to 10,500 and change. I think it's 10,502 actually, but we didn't get there. Right now we're starting to reject, but again also moving above that 9,565, which is very, very good. Again, that bearish divergence still here. Now if you notice the other chart that I have all the resistances right to the upside. I just want to make sure this is just gonna stay here. Oh man, it wants to go on the 1 hour, and I didn't change this on the other ones as well. Stick with me one quick second. I just got to do some very, very quick cleanup here, at least on this chart and the other one, as those are the main charts that I use here for the stream, right? So again, we're starting to develop some of that strong bearish divergence, like I said. And if you notice here on this chart, I have everything that is resistance to the upside, right? Now 10,000 and all resistance will become support. We'll see, sorry, it's still resistance, so if we break above it, it will become support. 10,000 flat, which is a psychological resistance, will become a psychological support. And then if we move up, we have 10,600, 10,000 and change, right? So 10,837, 11,120. So we have resistances already charted to the upside. So I'm not worried about the movements. We know where we could be targeting. I'm worried about what we're going to hold to support 10,000. Do we have something charted? I don't believe I have anything charted that will give us support at 10,000 right now. Just a psychological resistance support that we're gonna find there, right? Anyways, Bitcoin, what's happening on this other chart, right? I was telling you guys on the daily. Oh man, where did it go? This is not the chart I was looking at. This one. We had this triangle charted. We managed to move up, which was very good. Again, we also managed to confirm being outside of this old resistance. And from this chart, this old resistance comes from June 27, 2019, right? Look. Taking the highest point, and going on down, we find out that we end up bouncing here on May the 28th off that area, confirming being outside of this old resistance channel and starting to move up on Bitcoins. Now, I hadn't seen that resistance until today when I came back to check the triangle and I drew a line. I saw that we were bouncing out of something. I was trying to see if the bounce was down here actually. I knew we had the bounce here, but I noticed the highs that we had, and I was really trying to see if we were outside of this area, and I can confirm that we are, right? We flirted with it for a little bit back and forth, as you can tell, right? But finally managed to break out of there beautifully. So again, this line could be used as support also, right? And that line will be at 9,700. I'm hoping we don't break below 10,000. I'm basically betting that a lot of Twitter is going to be coming out saying, oh, it's the last time to get in at 10,000 because from here on out it's never going to dip below 9,000, below 10,000 again. BS, it can. Right now, it looks like we might want to go down and test that area. Lowest we gotten right now was 10,041 on this chart, $10,000 and $10,041 actually. So again, that's it for this on the Daily, we're starting the week bullish, which is good. Now let's hope we can keep up with that momentum and have this be a good week for crypto, right? Again, as you can tell, right, opening, hitting that area, starting to reject. Now, in theory, we're going from this is one whole island, right? So for me to anchor from this island, I would have to take the high here, go to the new high on the 4-hour chart. And this is why I'm not liking it, and that's why I believe that the short that you have. So I don't think we'll go below 10K. I'm hoping that we hold it. Right now we have developed bearish divergence, strong on the 4-hour, Troy. Right, that's to answer your question. If I think we're gonna go below 10K. So bearish divergence. That's why I was gonna say right now, before I read your comment, that your short might make sense. Just going by this. Now we don't have it on the RSI, but we're still overbought. So we're bought right now at 69.98. So again, a movement to the downside could be expected. I'm not sure yet how strong that's gonna be. Right now we're starting to consolidate on that movement to the downside, right? So again, going from high to a lower high. Again, this also starting to develop, right? So we gotta wait for it to keep on developing. We're probably gonna try to flag. That flag can take us 10K maybe, and then maybe rise from there. We might break below 10K slightly before we actually rise again. The 1 hour might give us a better clue as to what we might have to play here with. So I'm gonna move on to the 1 hour now, because we're already did the analysis for the 4. So let's go to the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour, we don't have any kind of divergence, right? Look, even the previous islands were really, really high, right, on that positive momentum, which is good. Also, much higher on that RSI, sitting overbought still at 72.68, and that's what gives me a reason to believe that we might come down here into this area that's bought or neutral before we try to rally again. And as you can tell, we have this very, very nice impulse up, right? This bull pull, and we're starting to create this beautiful flag right now, right? Again, I'm just gonna call it down sloping. I don't want to use the wick here. It would make it like broadening wedge. It will make it very awkward. So I want to wait for a new low to develop. So if I ignore this one here, it will start to look a little bit more like a falling, like a pennant or a falling wedge, falling wedge of sorts. And I'll wait for this to develop a little bit more before we actually do something. Bull pull, yes, bull pull, man. Right, bull pull. Starting to make a bull flag, and waiting for this to develop a little bit more. Just give me one quick second, guys. I'll be right back. Right. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to take I heard some noise in the kitchen. It was my wife that was out there. She wasn't feeling too well, so I just want to check up on her, make sure she was good. Apparently, what I had last week, she's feeling like nauseous and like a headache today. So I just wanted to check up on her, make sure she was okay. Because she was already asleep when I started the stream. So, anyways, I'm back. Like I said, right, we're starting to make this bull flag. I'm waiting for it to develop a little bit more to be able to anchor properly. But just take into account that we are making a proper flag. Now, like I said, if I use this wick here and use this wick, it will look like a broadening wedge. I want this to develop a little bit more, mature the pattern before we actually call the flag. But it's the consolidation that we're making, it is bullish, right? That is what I can tell you. It is a bullish consolidation pattern. I just want to get better anchor points on it. And a measure, right, a potential hit on that would give us another pull more or less of equal length, right? That's what we were expecting, right? Now, let me play something else here. There we go. Anyways, so bullish looking, right? Again, consolidation will be down sloping. So Troy, that's why your short makes sense. I'm not sure how much is gonna drop. Like I said, 10K would be right here, and it would kind of make sense for this to drop to 10K, maybe touch that area, find psychological support, and get that next pull coming in, right? And start to create divergence on the 1 hour. Now remember, on the 4 hours we do have the divergence. But a new pull to the upside would potentially have us create more positive momentum and really potentially negate the divergence that we have, right? So that's why I'm really curious as to Bitcoin right now, because I'm really into how this is going to develop as a pattern. Am I glad? Yeah, man, I have a position open. I have DVT also, and DVT is paired to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up, basically my value of DVT goes up intrinsically, meaning I don't have to do anything for it to go up. So it's a double win right now, because I'm up on my investment on DVT, and I'm also seeing that increase in price of Bitcoin, and it being paired to Bitcoin. It's helping me. It's also not good when Bitcoin drops, because then my value drops, right? Even if so meaning DVT would have to gain against Bitcoins for my position to remain the same. So again, right now I'm happy, man, right? So I'm good with this. I'm happy with what's happening with Bitcoin. I love the kind of consolidation that we're making. It looks like it's going to be very tight, very sharp down sloping consolidation. So potentially to break the upside. Now, this pull that we had to the downside didn't quite end up breaking to the upside as we expect flags to break. But we ended up creating this divergence, right? And we called this one out yesterday on the live stream. We were flirting with a 20. So we just managed to hold this area. That's why I told you guys I didn't close my position, right? Because I was waiting for this pattern to play out. I was worried that the bullishness of this strong bullish divergence was not playing out. And if you remember, also we mentioned that we had tightness of the Bollinger Bands. Look, we got much tighter. We got a small squeeze and then hit that 20, used it as a trampoline in support, and exploded, right? That's why it's important to look at volatility as well, because volatility is going to give us a big clue as to whether or not we could be expecting a major move to come in. And we did. So I'm happy. Bitcoin's playing nice. Again, overbought. We got to come in here, cool off, and we can do that by going to 10K. Would certainly get us into that bot area, and then we might try to go from there again, right? So Troy, again, play your short smart, and just set up some stop loss in case the price starts to rally again, because it might. And Henry, yeah, we're looking bullish, right? All right, so that's it for Bitcoin. I'm gonna move on to Ethereum. What's happening with Ethereum? Yesterday kind of gained dominance, very little, 0.08. Today gaining 0.26, sitting at 9.87% of market cap. Really want to see this above 10. Ethereum at $246.76, getting above that 786, right, at 247.15. I think we're below it right now, but slightly, 246.76. As you can tell, we barely got above it, and right now we're sitting right on it. We could be using it as support, and I'm glad. I want this to start retracing more. Now, the bearish divergence that we have, I believe we might be negating it from this point, but again, this is all one island, right? We could easily come all the way back here and anchor from there to here. Now, this would be 329, 387, so obviously going much higher. So again, right now, this would just be going to here, and I would just anchor from here to here, right? Again, previous island to new island, you can pick the highest point of the previous island, so divergence, and we go from this low to the high. I just don't want to over complicate this chart, so I'll just go from here to here. I don't want to make it too messy, right? It's easier for us to track it if it goes like that. Anyways, and bearish divergence on this shorter term here against the MACD. Sorry, against the RSI from here to here, right? So again, this is what we're calling on Ethereum. I do have this other Ethereum chart. We're just floating in the middle of nowhere here with the other fibs that I had. But on this one, we are hitting the fibs right on, right, as we expected to hit them. And again, bearish divergence, right? And this one we have already called. So good stuff happening with Ethereum. Bought at 66.76 on the RSI. Let's go to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we're going to a higher high with less positive momentum, much less actually than before. For me here, we're going higher with positive momentum. That's why we didn't call anything yesterday. But today, look at that, man, right? This positive momentum island starting to build. And look at this on the RSI, right? Strong bearish divergence. We're going to move down. Like I said, using support at the 786, but waiting for it to develop and determine whether or not it wants to hold or fail. So if you like what we do and how we talk about the analysis, hit that like, that button, that sub, right? Also subscribe to the channel. Also follow us on Twitter. Again, getting this bearish divergence to come in and starting to move down. So I'm going to move on to the 1 hour chart and see what's happening there. Again, I forgot to anchor. That's my bad. I just hate it when I forget to anchor stuff, man. It's not good. It's not good, man. I tell you. So how about them riots, right, man? Stuff's still going crazy, man. I don't like that. People are really hurting other people's livelihoods. That's not good, man. Anyways, we're finding some support also here at this previous high that we made here, right? You can tell that we're getting almost the same height here on May 30th at 6 p.m. And we're getting a bounce. We're trying to bounce from that area, right? Look at that low, right? Almost where we were here. So again, slightly below again. We've seemed to have rejected recently that 786 at 247 and 32 apparently. We're starting to make down sloping consolidation. On the short term, high, lower, high, higher, high, positive, more positive. High on the RSI, higher on the RSI. So nothing here. Bitcoin Jack Dudex has Ethereum long shorts with USD Tether. Awesome. I'm not sure if I would start opening longs and shorts on Ethereum right now, though. Wait for consolidation. It might move the same way Bitcoin will. And if you're more comfortable opening your longs and shorts with Bitcoin, more power to you, right? Go with Bitcoin. Again, the market is following Bitcoin. So everything is going to play as a reflection of Bitcoin. Maybe a little bit more subdued, maybe with a little bit more strength, but Bitcoin pumped nicely, and I think the alts pumped with less strength. Again, like I said, it's not all season yet. Bitcoin still has the market, or Bitcoin still has the reins of the market and determining where it wants to ride it. Bought at 65.29 on the RSI. Let's go to the one. That's the 1 hour. Sorry, I was looking for bearish divergence. We don't have it. Again, rejecting the higher prices, and again, it's gonna go the way Bitcoin wants to go. Again, impulse up, down sloping consolidation, which is what we would expect to see, right? Again, making this nice pennant tight right now. What 4 candles is not enough to call a good pattern developed, right? So I would wait for a little bit more pattern to develop, and maybe we get better anchor points and determine how this is gonna play out. But again, potentially to move to the upside, right? It has potential to move to the upside after consolidation completion. On to XRP. Yesterday losing dominance 2.67, today gaining 0.12%, sitting at 3.33% of market cap. That is very, very little market cap, man. The price of XRP 20 cents, 20.969 cents. Almost broke out of this area, and we failed yesterday. We hit it, we rejected, right? So 2 days ago we hit it, barely got out of it, rejected. Today we hit it and rejected. Today, getting there, man. That area, that top at 21.295. Is it enough for me to get out of my position on XRP? Not yet. But again, we know this area is a strong area of support resistance, meaning it's probably going to take us a little bit to break out of there. And that's it, right? We're going from high to lower high, positive, less positive, high on the other side, lower on the other side, neutral at 56.26. Again, the movement not as strong as Bitcoin's, right? And just to confirm that, right? Because I don't want to be talking out of thin air here. Bitcoin's movement was 8%. Ethereum's movement was, I think, 3%, 7%. On this exchange, and XRP just managed to move a whopping 4%. But for XRP, that's huge, man. I mean, don't take it wrong. I'm not dissing XRP. It is a huge move, right? So I'm glad it did. Again, rejecting higher prices. Let's move on to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we're creating apparently bearish divergence. Just let me confirm. Oh man, this chart's not going to be clear. No, we're not. Right, high, lower, high. High, lower, high. So again, 2 charts don't have it. This chart just seems to be moving sideways to the top bar here. So I'll just go from here to here. I guess we could say we're making the same height, but with less positive momentum, and also lower on that RSI, creating that medium bearish divergence, class B type 2. So again, that's what we're making right now, right? Medium bearish divergence, potential movement to a downside, and we're starting to get it. Sitting bought at 60.24 on the RSI. Let's move on to the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour, we're not creating bearish divergence, right? We are just hidden. Yeah, hidden. So high, lower high, positive, more positive, right? Hidden bearish divergence actually to the downside. We're starting to move down on that. We would also have it on the, sorry, we don't have it on the RSI. I was worried that we are going to get it, but we don't have it. Just upon closer inspection, we just have strong bearish divergence on this immediate, right, 3 hours. From a high to a lower high, right? Some strong bearish divergence developing there, moving down. Again, but mainly divergence developing from the MACD. Now, impulse up, down sloping consolidation, looking a little bit weird here, a little bit more like a round off than actually something that I would want to see, right? Like a potential flag, but again, it's very likely going to move however Bitcoin moves. So I'm going to wait for this to develop a little bit more so we can really place this flag properly. Again, this wick, it just makes it really awkward, right? So again, we'll probably go from here to down and then try to gauge how this is going to play out. But again, down sloping consolidation starting to form on XRP. Again, potential to move to the upside. And maybe create some bearish divergence strong later on, and we could go from there. Now, what is happening with Litecoin? Litecoin dominance. Yesterday we lost dominance, 1.17%. Today we're gaining 1.51%. Sitting at 1.13% of market cap. Price of Litecoin, $48.52. Again, same movement that Bitcoin did, right? 5% move, which is good. $2 to the upside, sitting at 60.19 on the RSI. High, lower, high, positive, less positive, right? So nothing to call here on the daily. Let's go to the 4 hour. Again, on the 4 hour, we have this bearish divergence, but just take it with a grain of salt, as we have we started to develop this new positive momentum, right? So again, keep that in mind. Anchored on the 4 hours nicely, and also having this on the RSI and the MACD, right? So again, high, lower, high. Bought at 60.06. Again, not creating negative price action yet, right? Bitcoin is starting to flag. This one looks like it's starting to upslope and consolidate, and maybe the 1 hour would give us a better clue. Again, beautifully holding the 20 and fighting for higher prices to the 1 hour. Again, see, impulse up, very awkward, not like Bitcoin's, and then just some awkward consolidation starting to happen. Again, going higher than the previous high that would be here, even than the previous high over here. So again, no bearish divergence. Maybe against the MACD, it would seem 79.32, 78.99. So if I were to take it from here to here, right, and from here to here, we could say we're making divergence. It's too long of a pattern, but it would be valid to call divergence there. Potential movement to the downside. But again, nothing in the short term, right? Within this island, right? High, higher, high. Positive, more positive, and high on the RSI to higher on the RSI. Again, just a strong bearish divergence developing from way, way back here. That's it for Litecoin. I'm going to move on to Binance. If you guys have any alts that you want me to look at, let me know on the chat, and we'll definitely look at them. Binance dominance yesterday losing 2.01%, today gaining 0.25%, sitting at 1% of market cap. Again, losing a little bit of that dominance. And what's happening with Binance, right? We're looking for this divergence, 125, 135, slightly more. But again, same case that we had with Bitcoin, right? If we anchor from way back here, right? So from here to here, again, from high to a lower high, low to high, again, creating some strong bearish divergence. That would be it. So I'm not going to remove that. I'll just anchor there. Neutral at 59.59. That's about it. I'm going to move on to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, what's happening? I think it's the same stuff that's happening across the market, right? Going from a high to a higher high. And going from a positive to less positive. However, this positive momentum is starting to build up. Gotta wait for this to build up to confirm, but right now we are creating strong bearish divergence. And waiting for this to, looks like very nice impulse up. Man, this pulled back a lot. There was a strong pullback, man. That was a bearish sign. From 18.91 all the way to 17.91. So it pulled back $1, man. That is a big, big pullback. Again, starting to flag a little bit. Maybe on the 1 hour we'll get a better view. And sitting bought at 62.87. What's happening here? Let's see. I think we're going to get ads. Yeah, man, about timing, right? Time for this Spotify ads. The pesky Spotify ads. What's happening? High, lower high, positive, more positive. All right, cool. So we have some hidden bearish divergence starting to develop here. I think XRP had this, or Litecoin. I can't remember. I can't remember which one we called it on, but we had already called something similar here. And apparently we also have it here on the on the MACD, on the RSI. So again, bought at 66.63, hidden bearish divergence, starting to consolidate though, right? Impulse up, starting to consolidate. It's down sloping consolidation, so I'm not complaining there. Waiting for this to develop a little bit more, right? But again, the impulse very subdued, right? Again, a lot of indecision on this pull. I just want to see which one I call this divergence in. We'll see it on I think it was an XRP, man. Yeah, an XRP, right? Anyways, let's look really quickly at DVT and what's happening. It's sitting at 6.4, very nice bounce. My position, part of my position got filled at 6, and for some reason my position got canceled last night, so it didn't execute. I didn't cancel it. So I was really worried about this, and I got greedy and I placed a position at 5.0, and of course it didn't get filled. So right now we're getting this bounce up to 6.4. So again, all my positions that I placed in are profitable, and that's something that I'm happy with. And no BS, right? Look at the past orders. Buy at 5, buy at 6, buy at 6. I bought one even at 6.1. So again, waiting for this 5.0 to execute. This is one I placed. I just placed something off, I think, and then I canceled it and then I opened it again. 5.5, and then I got greedy, right? See, cancel, partially executed, but I didn't cancel this position, man. That's weird. I'm not sure if the exchange canceled it, but this one I did cancel by myself. I put it at 5.5, and I said, nah, it's gonna go lower. I think it was 5.6. I said it's gonna go lower, and lower it did go. It went to 5.1. I just misread the market. I thought we were gonna go to 5, and we didn't. And this is this happening of divergence that we called, right? So again, on this chart, I gotta pull out the indicators because it's not here. We're not looking at TradingView. We're looking at a chart done by TradingView, but not actual TradingView. So let me get the RSI out, the MACD out, and the Bollinger Bands out, right? The Bollinger Band. Yes, the Bollinger Band. Oh, I had 2 of them out already, so fuck, I gotta remove 2. Sorry guys, my bad. Alrighty, so again, some quick stuff I gotta move here, otherwise the charts look horrible. So for some reason the exchange chooses the worst way to possibly view the chart. And then here on the MACD again, real quick, right? Just change this to histograms in green, and we go with bars or columns. And then this one I'll just change to yellow. There we go. Awesome. So again, if you remember, we were calling for divergence here to happen. Bearish divergence. To remember where we had it, right? Again, I just hate the fact that I cannot save the charts because it just makes it so weird. Every time I come back, I just gotta redo stuff. I think it was here we called it, right? It was in the short term. There we go. Alright, so we're moving sideways here. As you can tell, we went from positive to less positive, and the high point on the RSI to a lower point on the RSI. Created that bearish divergence, and from then on we started to move down, and then moved farther down until we got this low, and then we hit a bounce, which is good. Again, I'm not too worried about this because it's such a small cap project right now that it's such a good in. I'm really waiting for this potential to develop and start to see where it plays out to, right? Again, even short term, I believe we're creating divergence. If you remember, I called it on the 4 hours as well, and that would have looked like this, right? Going to similar sizes here, right? But going from a high to a lower high, and positive to less positive. So again, bearish divergence, right? Class B. So again, price action to downside, and down we moved. So, you know, so I was worried that we were not going to play it out that strong because we had a lot of positions here that were eating up the market, or that were acting as support on the order books. But right now, I believe pressure is down, and we might be looking for a potential new bounce. Sorry, I removed the RSI. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to remove that line. I'm going to go look at the 1 hour though. Oh, sorry, the daily. And now on the daily, if you remember, we were calling divergence for a while, right? You're gonna say we were crying wolf, but yeah, we went from here to here and from here to here, and we called bearish divergence, right? So again, 2 days of negative price action today. We're starting to get a good bounce coming in. Also at the 20 happening, and something I noticed yesterday, and I hadn't called this out yet, but it was here. Today we broke this support, right? This lane I just traded. Look, support, 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 and then support. And then today we managed to break out, and we're trying to get back up on this support, which is good, and I'm hoping we do. It would be a good uptrend for DVT, and that's something I'm looking forward to, actually. Negative momentum started to build with very little negative momentum. And that's about it for DVT, right? Again, good stuff happening with it. I just got a little bit greedy and wasn't able to execute my position. So I'm going over here onto taking the charts. I know coins have come up for requests, so I'm going to start looking at gold and silver real quick. See where they went. Alright, cool. So silver managed to pop up onto the 18 for reals. Today we're starting to get a movement to the downside. We might come and retest the 786 at 17.953. It wouldn't be weird. And it would actually be beneficial. We still have bearish divergence developing that would indicate potential action to the downside. Now gold, lower high than the previous high, and again nothing developing there at 1,739. The markets, real quick, let's see, bearish divergence, right? We're calling that. I mean, we're still making a new higher high and still coming in low, right? So again, bearish divergence there on the S&P. It managed to gain 11 points. The Nikkei up 184 points. And again, creating bearish divergence still, right? So we have not gotten rid of it. It's sitting overbought at 72.35. So again, a reason we could come back down on that price. Toronto, 43 points to the upside. Again, but again, bearish divergence. We have not gone higher yet. And bought at 60.26 on the RSI. London up 96 points. But again, moving down, hitting that 20, right? Trying to reject, managing to reject the 20, which is good. But again, bearish divergence did play out nicely here on London Stock Exchange. Now, what's happening with the Dow? Gained 91 points. Again, bearish divergence, moving down. Managed to gain a little, but not too much. Nothing else developing. Overbought at 62.77. What's happening with the US 30, right? The Dow Live. Starting to move down right now. 104 points. This would be an indicator as to where we can open tomorrow. So if you keep on tracking this, we will know. Bitcoin Jake Low, I just found a bug on Dudex. Gonna see if I can exploit it or if it's just visual UI error. If you report it, don't you get bounties for that? And if you can exploit it, yeah. I mean, just make sure you don't wreck other people. Bought at 61.81, right? So again, that's it. Let's look at oil real quick. Again, still managing to pump a little bit. It was funny. Alex Gubb came out the other day saying, "I'm telling you right now, you should go long on oil." And I'm here like, what the fuck? Really? We've been talking about that a while back, man. If you didn't get back on oil here when we're calling this divergence, right? You would have had enough gains, bro. Massive gains here on oil. And I was looking at his tweet and I said, "Just now you're calling it?" He replies, No. We've actually been cutting on oil a while back. And I'm like, yeah, right. Whatever, man. I mean, look, oil's still a good in. It's just not as good as it was back here, right? Oil has to recover. It'll probably get back to $60, $70 at some point in time. And you will still make double. But if you would have gotten in here at 11 and you go to $60, you would have made 6 times your money. Right now, you're looking to double more or less. So, still a good in, right? That's it, bro. Sologenic managed to go up 11%. That's good. I'm glad. I'm holding a little bit of Sologenic, but that's about it. Oh my god, it managed to pump. So OMG, right? Getting this nice pump yesterday, 13%, which is very good, man. Actually, it's starting to upslope and consolidate. High, lower, high, positive, negative momentum, still there, and high, lower, high, right? Still sitting bought at 68.60. Let's go to the 4 hours real quick. High, lower, high, positive, less positive. High on the other side, lower on the other side, nothing there. Let's go to the 1 hour for OMG. Omisego. What's happening with this, right? We're going slightly higher. Then we're coming in lower again, creating bearish divergence and potential price action to the downside, right? From here to here, we're going slightly lower on that price, so nothing to call there. Bought at 63.74. Long Beach, California, the LBC, right? Libri. What's happening with Libri? Libri. Again, we're going higher. Sorry, let's look here. Positive momentum, that's good. Yesterday gaining 9%. Very, very nice. Neutral at 50.79. High, lower, high. Less positive momentum, right? So negative momentum to less negative momentum. Alright, cool. So from here to here, we're going lower. And from here to here, we're making less. So I guess we could say we're making strong bullish divergence, starting to get this pump coming in. We didn't have that on the RSI. Again, neutral at 50.79. Let's go to the 4 hour. Positive, more positive, high, higher, high. Positive, more positive. High on the RSI, higher on the RSI. Bought at 60.29. Again, being congruent with the market, giving me this very nice pump on Library. Now what's happening on the 1 hour, right? Going higher, right as we're going higher, we're pumping, and high to higher high, neutral at 68.58. That's very nice. Man, Bitcoin Jake just dumped Long Beach, California the other day. Yeah, man, it got nice pump, but again, it wasn't bearish divergence. We just hadn't looked at the analysis in a while, right? So again, I think last time we looked at this, we were looking at this bearish, right? And look at that, man. If you dump when we were calling this bearish, you did good. It managed to. All right, I got reconnected now. Sorry about that. OBS disconnected me briefly. I am back, and I am here with you. And if you like what we do, you should hit that like, that bell, that sub, right? Because you are awesome. And we like this. Bitcoin Jake saying it was only like 6.4 thousand LBC at the bottom. All right, cool. So if you drop, okay, so you exit at the bottom. All right, look, we call bearish divergence. We started to move down. From here to here, we created some bullish divergence. We just haven't looked at this project in a while. So at least we haven't looked at this since May 30th, right? So 2 days or so. So from here to here, we created bearish divergence. So bullish divergence, strong, right? Managed to get that pump to the upside. Let's look at this. We have it here. 29.39. 29.19. 1 second, guys. Be right back. I'm back. Sorry. She who must be obeyed called, and I had to go. And I'm back now. Anyways, I just want to make sure she's okay. Anyways, Twitter's going out right now. You should also follow us on Twitter, man. We are a pretty cool band of people. Myself and whoever follows me, right? The merry man of the state of crypto. So, merry man because you're probably making some dough on learning how to trade, right? Because I'm not telling you what to do. But I'm telling you where I believe the market can go, and upsides and downsides, right? So if you're taking advantage of that, good. Again, we haven't called this out, right? Because we hadn't looked at the project. We're looking at it right now. But short term, we don't have anything bearish, right? Just going to overbought, or bought right now, 69.74. So waiting for this to develop more and create bearish divergence. Right now, we don't have it. Again, beautiful stuff happening with this, right? Again, this bullish divergence we developed, it was until yesterday, right? Now, this is from the 1 hour chart. It wants to show up here on the daily, just because it wants to mess with me. There we go. All right, we developed divergence yesterday, the 31st. So today we got this very nice pump with Bitcoin and the rest, and one more nice pump coming in right now. Let's go to Bitcoin. 10,089, right? Have we gotten to that area? No, not yet. Let's see. All right, see the flag on this chart looks completely different than the other chart. Than this chart we were looking at, right? Again, I don't like this wick here. But yeah, bro. Again, we're starting to flag, which is good. I'll just anchor from here to here, I guess. That'll be our flag right now. Right, it's gonna be weird looking, but that's the flag we're making. It's positive, it's bullish, and we might get another movement to the upside. I'm waiting for this to really become a positive thing for Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin pumps, more people become interested in crypto, and more people join the channel as well. Thank you guys for joining, by the way, and for being here every day. You guys are amazing. You guys are troopers for joining us, and I'm really, really grateful for each and every one of you that tunes in to this awesome stream and participates on the chat or lurks. You know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to chat, but just the fact that you guys are here, it's huge support, and it really means the world to me. So thank you so much for that. it's very humbling to have so many people join. For me to have 10 people, 11 people, 12 people online, it's just it's amazing that to have that many people that want to listen to what I have to say regarding crypto. Anyways, like I said, thank you guys for joining us tonight for this awesome stream. I don't believe I've seen any requests out, and we already tackled some of the other coins that usually get requested on the channel. I'm trying to see what else pumped that I have here on my radar or on my screen here on the side. VET. Wow, shit. Real? VET up 18%? What in the world is VET doing, man? Why? I have another chart for VET. It just says 9%. I guess it's more realistic. VeChain going places. Damn. What happened here, man? I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Wow, 9% right now. That is a good pump on VET, man. It's a good pump on VET. 802, 801 right now. Again, very, very, like, man, nice moves. We're hitting a resistance, though. We have traced this a while back, man. I haven't looked at this chart in a long time. We're hitting that 50%. That 50% at 728 or more or less, right? Right now, we just managed to move slightly up. Sorry, 727. It wasn't the 50%. Yeah, it was the 50% we're hitting. 50%, yeah. I can add that 50 again, right? Holding it as resistance. So I know we have good charts, man. Look at this. I haven't looked at BET in a long time. And look at the fibs, bro. We're holding them perfectly. Open at the fib, managed to move up to the next one. Resistance at the fib, open at the fib, managed to move up to the next one, right? So again, good charting, man. We do good charts here. Wow, man, good moves. 11% right now on VET. What in the world, man? VET is performing extremely nice, man. I didn't have this one on my radar, and I hadn't looked at it in a long time, man. I want to chart it now. So low, high, right? So low, higher, low, negative, less, negative, low on the RSI, higher on that RSI, no divergence developing. Let's go to 4 hours. So everything is playing probably off smaller scales, man. Low, higher, low, negative, less, negative, right? So even higher, negative, less, negative still, right? So higher on the RSI every time, so nothing there. Now, we did go bearish here. Yeah, we did on the RSI. Right, so that's there. I'm just going to anchor it here on the 4. Make sure it's going to stay nice and tight where we want it to. And, right, we have... no, I said on the RSI, not on the MACD, man. That was my bad. Right here, right? Bearish divergence. Move down. Hit support right where we had it. Managed to get this very nice bounce coming in. And look at this, man. New candle, right? 11 p.m. Where do we go? First thing we do, we go down, hit that fib node, the 50% as support, and we're trying to bounce. Good stuff happening with VET, man. Nice stuff, man. Again, what I don't like is that now we have divergence here. Bearish. Starting to develop, though. Again, new island coming in, right, of positive momentum. So we gotta wait for it to keep on developing. Right now, we do have this bearish divergence. It can get negated. Yes, it can. Just gotta wait for it to confirm, though, right? We gotta wait and see how we go. Right now, we have it. It just means take caution. And if you start to see this phase resistance start to go down, there might be a chance that we drop, right? That's why I say keep on tracking stuff when we're off the air. Sitting overbought, 72.69. So again, bearish divergence, overbought. We might lose this support that we have right now and break from there, right? Let's go to the 1 hour. Second time we actually bounce off this area. So high, higher high, more positive momentum, but lower on that RSI, right? So again, bearish divergence starting to develop here. Again, on the RSI, but it's still there, right? Not on the MACD, and the MACD is cool. The MACD is chilling, man. Anyways, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, guys. We went through the market. I'm just gonna go back to Bitcoin real quick, make sure, see what's doing. Oh, we're starting to move sideways now. See, that's why I want to wait tankers sometimes, particularly on the flags, right? Look at that. This could either be two things, right? We're starting to break out of the flag, which I doubt it is because it's too small of a pattern. But we could be expanding the flag a little bit, and you know, that's a little bit more likely. And again, no reason for why from here we cannot just burst through the upside and try to go to that new high, right? Again, Asia coming in at 2 in the morning. Europe coming in at 2 in the morning. Might see this. Say, man, that's good, man. You know, they'll go hard on Bitcoin and, you know, maybe get the next pump coming in at 2 in the morning. Sometimes when I leave at 11, we get pumps. So, you know, I'm hoping that I go off the air and we get a massive pump to the upside. Anyways, I'm not sure if we're going to go to 10,000, Troy, again. So if you're still with us, I'm not sure. I hope so for your short sake. And but right now we're sitting at 10,105. Guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching Instead of Crypto. I'm your host, Martin. Again, a pleasure being here with you guys tonight. This awesome Monday night. Again, very good stuff happening for the crypto market. Let's wait and see what tomorrow has in store for us and how many of the stuff that we called today we get right. Again, we've been on a roll lately with a lot of good calls, so I'm happy, right? Thank you all for joining us again. If you like what we do, you know what to do. Talk about crypto to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers. Let them know that we are here. This is Instead of Crypto. Again, I'm your host, Martin. And as our buddy Bitcoin Jake says, peace, love, and huddle, right? So that's all for tonight, guys. Catch me tomorrow again. Some people just joined. Catch me tomorrow again. I'm live at 10 p.m. Central. Hit that like, that bell, that sub, right? This is an awesome channel. Good for crypto enthusiasts and basically crypto people overall. Again, that's going to be all for tonight, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.